Hi, my name is Christine Jimenez, and this video is in regards to Schindler's List. The first thing that comes to mind when I think of Schindler's List and everything that I saw in the movie is just the capability of evil that is inside every person. And that is one thing that we can learn from the movie, is that every person has it in them to do very bad things. The guards were not just the only people who were being evil and looking the other way when these horrible atrocities were happening. We see it in the Jewish Poles themselves. There were those who were working for the Nazis, that they had their funny little hats that we see one of the characters making fun of them because they looked so silly in those hats. They were actually also looking the other way and even making fun of them at times, their own people who were going through these horrible things. And we also see it when the little boy, towards the end of the movie, he's trying to find a place to hide, and he's very scared, and nobody will let him hide. And it's just, you can see how people can be very evil. The movie impacted me because it made me think of how bad all these things were. It made me feel so sad for all those people who suffered and everything they went through, not just in this movie, but and during the Holocaust. The movie changed my perspective in the sense that it's made me more aware that we need to step outside and think of the situation as a whole. And for example, the guards in the movie, if they would have set themselves outside the situation and thought, these are human beings and these are people, instead of just thinking of them as the Jews, that group, those people we hate, them that are different, and here we are and we're apart from them and we're protected and none of these things are happening to us. But in reality, those are just people, and that's what we need to keep in mind, and that's the perspective that I want to have in the future. And as a result of this movie, I think it's going to change the way I treat others, because I'm going to try to step outside of the scenario and think of how that person's feeling, and not just look at the differences, but that they're people, and keep that in mind in the future. And if one needs to intervene, to do so the way Schindler did, not just I remember in that part where they're overlooking everything that's happening at the camp. He's overlooking from the hillside on a horse with his wife, and his wife just says, I can't see this anymore, I need to turn away. But Schindler was thinking of, what can I do, how can I stop this? And that's the right mentality. It's not just turning away and not being able to look at it, it's taking action. This experience should definitely be in the mind of companies when they think of diversity and diversity training programs, and how important they are for everyone, and to prevent these things from happening in the future. And also because diversity has, it's a competitive advantage for a company. They have so much to gain from it. In the movie itself, we see it. Stern was such a great accountant, and he was such a savvy man, and he had so much to bring to the table. And the same was with a lot of the Jewish Poles, who had so many different talents and skill sets that they had to bring to the table, aside from the fact that they were human beings. And this is what we need to learn when we in our companies, that we need to embrace diversity. And that's the only way that a company can really gain from it, because there is so much to gain from the different perspectives that people have, and the different talents that they can bring to the table. If I were discriminated against, I know I would feel very scared. Discrimination is a very scary, paralyzing thing that I hope I will never face. And in the movie Schindler's List, the Jews were defenseless against the Nazis. They couldn't do anything. But I would like to think that we live in a world where we can avoid these things from happening, and there are laws and there are regulations, and there's always an answer, and I would seek out that answer and try to stop discrimination, whether it be against myself or against anyone. Thank you for your time.